Welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the Aromamizer Plus Mesh Deck. This is a brand new deck that they came out with, and it takes mesh strips opposed to coils, whether it's dual coils, single coils, series coils. They've got so many decks now. They've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks now just for one atomizer. If that's not crazy, I don't know what is. Aromamizer Plus, if you don't know, is my all-time favorite RTA, even though it's called an RDTA. It's my favorite RTA for going on, I want to say this is year 3. It's actually over 3 years that I've been using the same RTA. They've had the basic postless deck that comes with it. Then they had the velocity deck. Then they had the series deck. Then they had the single coil, and now they have the mesh deck. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. This is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it. I'm going to do a build for you. They do have their own mesh strips. You can use other ones. They are a little bit thinner. The original ones that you see out there for like the original profile and things like that, they're a little bit thinner or more narrow, but you can actually buy a pack for $3.90, and it's supposed to come with 10, but it comes with 10 sets. So I actually have like 20 coils. But yeah, for $3.90, you can actually get this from Steamcrave themselves. And Steamcrave, again, is one of my favorites. Now, I have tried it with the Off brand as well. I've also tried it with Watofo brand. It works with all different mesh strips. I'm just going to show you with what it comes with, what you can do. So let's go ahead and go down and let me show you all about it. Okay, so here we are with the Plus Mesh Deck. This is for the Aromamizer Plus. If you don't know, they've got at least 5 different types of decks now than they first had, and you can actually vape however you need to vape. This one does come with some mesh strips, but you can also purchase them separately for like $3.90. I got this pack. So really, really inexpensive. You can purchase the deck itself for $14.99, which is not bad because you're making it like a whole new RTA. So inside the box, of course, you're going to get this, and you're also going to get some extras. So let's go ahead and look. You're going to get this tool here. This one side is to round your mesh strip, and then the other side is once it's already placed in there so that you can round it while it's in there. Then you're going to have the deck, which comes in here. So when you get it, it's actually going to be packaged right in here, and it's going to come with some extras in there. So it's going to come with these extras right there. So you're going to get an O-ring for the deck. You're going to get screws, and you're also going to get a squonk pin, because you can turn your Aromamizer Plus into an RDA. And if you turn it into an RDA, they actually provide the squonk pin so that you can squonk with it. Personally, I like my Aromamizer Plus as an RTA. I really don't like it as an RDA, but that's just my personal preference. Also in the box, the only other thing that you're going to get is this instruction booklet, and it's literally just, it's going to tell you how to do it. So it'll tell you how to install it. It's going to tell you what you need for it, what tools. It'll show you how to do your cotton. It'll show you how to place it in there. It's going to show you how to actually thin it out. You can actually do it a couple different ways. And then, of course, you're going to have the install picture. And I like that they give you pictures about it. And then, of course, just enjoy the Steamcrave mesh experience. Now, this deck is designed to perform fully with multiple size mesh strips. We strongly discourage the use of traditional coils in this deck. So if you want to put regular coils, use one of the regular decks. But for this deck, they do advise to only use mesh strips in it. But you can use any mesh strips. It doesn't have to be, you know, their particular brand. I just happened to buy them because, well, I was buying the deck. Why not? So as always, I did go ahead and purchase this myself because I absolutely love Steamcrave, and I've purchased, this is actually my original one. I've got 3 now that I've purchased. My original are Aromamizer Plus. This is the one where if you had a custom drip tip, you have to take it off to unscrew the top, but I still use it. I still love it. And then they do suggest that you use Muji cotton or cotton squares. This is how I've been wicking it, and it's been fine. You can use other cotton, but you want to make sure that the cotton is very, very tight underneath that mesh. If it's loose at all, you're going to get like a burnt hit or a mesh burnt hit, which you really, really don't want. So I do suggest making sure that your cotton is in there very, very firmly, but not to where you're bending your mesh. So I'm just going to screw this onto my BM2 mod. This is my custom mod that I had made from Big Mike's Box Mods, and that's how it looks. Absolutely gorgeous. Love this mod. Oh, and it does come with a mesh strip. I did forget to show you that. Comes with a mesh strip right there, and it actually brings 2. So there you go. So these are the mesh strips that they have. Again, you can use other ones such as these. These are actually the Canthol ones from Off that were for the profile. And if you notice, they're a little bit thinner or more narrow than these are. These are about the size of the one for the profile 1.5, but these are the Canthol ones. And then I also have the stainless steel, and they are basically the same, you know, size. They're a little bit more narrow. So there you can see them there. So I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Just one, save the other one. I save them. And then this is what the mesh strip looks like. There you go, with the kind of big holes in it. So it's getting a lot of air. And then what you're going to do is use the tool that they provided, and you're just going to wrap it around there. Just like this. Grab it by both ends, just wrap it around, and I always just turn it a little bit. Okay, there we go, nice and formed. So that's done. So I'm going to put that aside, and let's go ahead and unscrew the deck. Now, it does not have any type of spring-loaded action, very similar to like the Profile RDTA and the Profile Unity and stuff like that. It is not spring-loaded, but it opens up really, really nice, and it separates so that you have plenty of room to actually drop in the coil. So what I do is I actually take my ceramic tweezers, and I just pick it up and just lay it right in there, and it fits absolutely perfect, just like that. Just make sure that it is straight on both sides, so it's sitting in there absolutely perfectly. And one thing I do recommend not doing, and the booklet also does recommend that as well, you don't want to tighten down one side, stick your cotton in, and then fold over the other side. First of all, it's actually going to change, it can mess up the mesh. So you can bend it, you can tweak it and things like that. So you definitely don't want to do that. You just want to be able to put the cotton right through it. So I do recommend just going ahead and screwing both sides down and then putting your cotton in. Some people do it that way. I don't recommend it that way personally. So I just hold down like one side of it with my finger very lightly. And I just close that up. And then turn it around and do the same thing on this side. There we go. Hold it down and then close it up. And you want to make sure that it's straight. You don't want it crooked. It has to be straight. Now, if for whatever reason you did put too much pressure on it and you do need to reform it for any reason, which let me just make sure these are tight, especially when you go to put the cotton in. All you need to do is you take this other end, notice it's flat on the bottom so that you can fit it right in there, and you can actually turn it so that you can straighten it out if you have deformed it at all. But mine is perfectly rounded, as you can see right there. So yeah, so let's go ahead and start heating it up. There you go. And then if it's not heating up evenly, what I do is just with my ceramic tweezers, I'm just gonna lightly just scratch it a little bit, just a little bit. And see, it is heating up evenly right from the middle. So there we go. So let's go ahead and let that cool down. While we're letting that cool down, we're going to go ahead and start on the cotton. Now, the cotton, again, I do use cotton squares whenever I'm doing my profile Unity. Any of the mesh type of tanks, I actually do the same thing, or mesh type of devices. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this outer part here, which is like the tougher side of it. I'm going to take that off of here, and I'm also going to remove it from this side as well. Now, again, you can do this any way you want. I'm going to show you my preferred method, and then you can adjust it however you want. Now, still, it's not done for me. And it also shows it in the booklet to use the same method, but I was already using that before with the profiles. And you're just going to stretch it out. You want to thin it out and stretch it out. Just like this. It's like a process, but it's really, really, I don't know, it's satisfying in a way. Okay, just go ahead, and if you notice, it's getting really, really fluffy now. It's not stiff at all. Like those ends would actually make it a little bit stiffer. And I just go around, and then I'll pull it a little bit this way just to get it more squared, and just keep going. And yes, I do this with my profile. All my RDAs, that have mesh, my RTAs that have mesh, I do the same process. I personally like it with the Muji cotton squares better. And these, you can actually pick up a bag of them. Like I got these, which there's a lot in here, like a couple years ago, and I'm still using them. So you can get them for like 10 bucks. They're really, really inexpensive. And you can use it for so many things. So I just thin it out here to where I can almost see through it. I don't know, it's a Scottish roll, Swedish roll, it's somebody's roll, but that's what I do. I've been doing this for a while now. I actually have, I think I have a tutorial on how to wick the profile unity using one of these. And then I just take off the extras. Any part that looks hard to me, so just the ends right here. There you go. I want it all fluffy. Again, you can do it any way you want. This is the way that I do it. And then you're just gonna roll it. Just simply roll it. Like if you were rolling something else. If you're into that, this is good practice. And I just roll it. Now, once I get to about here and I see that it's getting a little thick compared to the hole on here, I'm actually gonna stop right there. And I'm gonna just take off the rest of it. So I've got about like a quarter of it left. And I'm just gonna put it together and just start rolling it in my fingers just to tighten it up. Rolling it to the ends. Look at that, perfect. And you definitely want to roll it to the end so that they get a little bit pointy so that you can pull it through. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here. So where it's really, really stiff on it, that's what you want it. You don't want it too loose at all. You definitely want it stiff. And then you're just going to cut off the ends here. Cut off about right there. And cut off right about there. Hopefully you're in view. And then you can do it one of two ways. Now you can do it like they suggested on the profile unity or the profile RDA, and you can just go ahead and just cut it like right there. Oops, cut it right there. You can do that. Or they suggest going ahead and just thinning it out. I personally like it better with the original method. I do go ahead and fluff it out some. And then I do this. And then I'm going to cut it right there. Like that. Now this is still just, that should be just about right. Let's see. Because you want it to lay in the juice channel, but you do not, or the wicking channel, but you don't want it to come through. See how it's not coming through? You don't want it to come through. You just want to lay it in there. Now I'm going to actually take off just a hair bit more because it's still just a little bit long. There you go. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. There you go. Now the reason why I fluff it out is so that with the capillary action, it's going to actually juice from up here as well. So it's going to pull that juice up. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the other side and just fluff it out a little bit. And then fluff out the underside. Because I like the ends of my wicks to be fluffy. I'm going to just point it out like that. And then we can do it the opposite way because this freaking thing is like in my way. There you go. And just cut. There you go. Still a little bit much. See? Just a little bit more. There you go. And then just a little bit right on the end. And then go ahead and put this right into the wicking channel. Just laying it in there. You do not want to stuff this. If you stuff it, you're going to get dry hits. The good thing about the Aromamizer Plus is that if for whatever reason you are getting dry hits, you can literally unscrew it, taking everything off, not missing any juice because you can leave it fully with juice in it. You can take it off, you can re-wick it, or you can fix the wicking and then put it right back in. So if you are getting dry hits on it, just go ahead and go take it off and just take a little bit more cotton off and you'll be fine. Just testing it right here. Yes, it falls in really nice. Again, do not let it come through the bottom. And I'm going to be using my cheesecake from E&B, the brown sugar line. If you haven't seen my review yet, oh my God, it's so good. And what I'm going to do is turn this up a little bit. Let me see. Turn it up a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and start juicing it. This is very crucial, very, very important. You want to put some juice on it, and you want to just pulse the coil. The reason being is because we need all that e-liquid or all that cotton that is under that coil saturated. If it's not, it's going to be dry. So we want to make sure that that gets nice and saturated. You're not going to overdo it, but you do want to get it saturated to where it's actually coming out the sides a little bit. So we want all that cotton underneath to be saturated. Again, there is no spring-loaded ceramic piece to actually push that cotton up. So you definitely need to make sure that your cotton is thick in there so that it stays up on its own. And then of course you want to make sure that all that cotton is nice and saturated as well. So there we go. We've got all that done. Nice and in there. So we'll go ahead and take this off and put it right back in our Aromamizer Plus. Some people might think that this is a pain in the butt to have to take it off to put it in. I've had it for 3 years and I've never said, oh my God, I got to take it off. So I guess to each his own. So what you're going to do is go ahead and line it up with the grooves. Same type of deck as all the other decks. It's got this little groove out here that fits right in those grooves. Just make sure that it's in securely. If it's not, you're going to have a little bit of a gap once you put on the base. But other than that, you're fine if it's flush in there. So you always want to make sure that that's flush. That is key so that you're not going to get any leaking. That's one reason why you can get leaking. And then all you do is you just take the bottom piece, screw it on just like any other time. Get that on. You want to make sure that it is on the lock symbol. If you can see right there, it's actually marked on the lock. And I do close down my airflow as well. What this is this is actually your juice flow control. And on this device, on this Aromamizer Plus, or the glass and all that other stuff, you do want to make sure that your juice flow is closed down and your airflow, and that way you're not going to get any leaking. So I'm just going to put this back on my device. Now remember, this is the original Aromamizer Plus. So this one, I am going to have to do it a little bit differently, and I have to take off my drip tip first and then unscrew it, because the original one did not have room for the bigger style drip tips. It actually came with its own that I really did not like. And then all you're going to do is just go ahead and fill up your e-liquid. Now I do have the 10 ml glass on here, but on my other one, I actually have the 15 ml bubble glass. So I go in between the two of them. So let's go ahead and fill this up. And I was already having this today when I was out and about. I had to clean it up and just put this back on. Screw that down. Put on my drip tip. Again, never bothered me before they came out with the limited edition, which actually took that problem away, which I really appreciate. And that's on there. And now you can open up your juice flow control and turn this to the unlock position. So I just grabbed the knurling and just turn it all, and then my airflow and it is open. And if you notice, we've got bubbles. That means that the wick is actually saturating really, really nice, because that's where the juice flow control is on both sides. So that's the Aromamizer Plus mesh deck. Let's go up top. We're going to have a vape. We're going to talk about it and pros and cons. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Aromamizer Plus with the mesh style deck in it. Before anything, I'm going to go ahead and have a vape. Now, I usually use my Aromamizer Plus all the way open for my airflow on the regular postless deck, which is my all-time deck. Now, I'm going to show you that this thing has too much air. First time I've said that, too much air with the mesh strip deck. It's just so airy for me that literally I have been, for the first time ever with my Aromamizer Plus, I've actually been closing it down to about right there. The great thing about this is that you can actually adjust it anywhere you want it, but that's actually the way that I like it. Now I currently have it on 62 watts and it's coming out to a 0.24. But yeah, let's go ahead and have a vape with it closed down some. You're still getting that massive cloudage. You're still getting really good flavor. It's just that it's cutting down the air a little bit so that it's a more dense vape, in my opinion. Now you can have it wide open if that's the way you like it. I personally like it closed down. That's just the way that I've been vaping it. Now the flavor on it, amazing. I know exactly what this tastes like, and it's amazing even in here. Now we're going to go over some pros and cons. All right, the pro is mesh strip deck. Absolutely works beautifully as long as you wick it right. If you don't, the great thing about it is you can take it apart and fix the wicking, which is definitely was one of my hugest pros on this when I first got it. I don't have to worry about dumping out my juice. Even a tank this full, you can actually go ahead and flip it over, take the deck out, re-wick it, recoil it, whatever you need to do, and then put it back in, and it's good as new. So I absolutely love that part. But with the mesh strips, the cons are going to be the fact that they do not label anything on the box. They do not label anything on here as to the resistance or what the wattage range is. They don't list it. That to me is a very, very big con that Steamcrave does need to do. Now online on the shop.steamcrave.com where you can purchase this, on the mesh strips, it does say a 0.18 ohm resistance. Now, of course, it's coming out a little bit more. That's fine, but which it doesn't bother me. The only problem is that on the packaging itself, it needs to have that information as well when you're including coils. I do like the fact that they're saying that they're Kanthal strips, but again, it's not giving that information. This is a how-to, but it's not really got any specs on it as to the deck or the mesh strips. So that to me is a big con. I really don't, that's the only con I have other than it being super airy, but like when do I ever complain about it being super airy? Like I love airflow. Now it's not really a con, that's actually personal preference. If you like it airy, you don't like it airy. I like this turned down a little bit for this type of deck or the mesh strips. Now my pros are going to be, it's mesh. It's mesh. It feels like mesh. It gives you a really, really flavorful vape. And you can use any mesh strips in this. It doesn't matter if you got the off, if you got the Wotofo, if you got the Vandy vape, if you've got, it doesn't matter. You can fit them in here. It's also, they are a little bit bigger, so you can actually fit those 1.5, the profile 1.5 mesh strips in it as well. So that's great. It's very versatile. You can use any of the mesh strips. That's fine. It's easy to build on. It comes with all the tools that you need. I think that that's fantastic as well. It even brings you a squonk pin so that you can actually squonk with the mesh deck in your original Aromamizer Plus turned into an RDA, which the Aromamizer Plus, if you don't know, the original one did come with 3 different glasses. It came with a 5 ml glass, a 10 ml glass, and a 20 ml glass, and you can convert it to an RDA. So that was like my 3 years ago. That was amazing. Then the limited edition, if I'm not mistaken, didn't come with the 20 mil. It had the 5 and the 10, which was great. And it had the 5. Did it have the, I think it had the 10 and the 15 mil, which was the bubble glass, which was absolutely amazing. They used to sell the bubble glasses separately, but they don't anymore. I'm guessing they're no longer carrying them, but you can get any of the other straight glasses, the 5 mil, 10 mil, and 20 mil straight glasses with the conversion kits. Now, the Aromamizer Plus sold out. Sad to say, but yes, I know that they were going to be discontinuing it. I'm not sure why, but this is such a fantastic atomizer. This is #1 for me for over 3 years now. And the people that have actually gone out and purchased it because of my recommendation have never not liked it. There was never a time that they were like, Wendy, this is like sucks. They loved it. And that's why I feel like they really need to bring it back. Steamcrave, please bring back the Aromamizer Plus. To me, it was like the best selling out of all of them. It's a 30 millimeter atomizer. It has so many different deck options. You've got 5 different decks that you can use on it now. It's just an amazing RDTA. So for that, I love the mesh that you can actually switch it into any of them. I've tried it in this one. I've tried it in my blue limited edition, my stainless steel limited edition. I've tried it in all of them and it works perfectly. You can plug them into either one of them. Another huge pro from Steamcrave. This mesh strip, it's got tremendous flavor. It really, really does. Again, my only cons were the ones that I listed. Other than that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. It's just been my, yeah. Oh, wait. Now, again, it doesn't have the wattage ranges on any other packaging. It doesn't have it online as well. Usually with the mesh strips around this type of resistance is usually around 60 watts. And I'm going to tell you that because it's not listed anywhere. I tried going up to like 70, 75, and it's not as good a flavor. I've gone up to 68 and it's fine. That is like my high point of this actual mesh deck or mesh strip. 68 is like my maximum. Flavorful, it warms up, it's really nice. I have it at 68 right now. But going up higher, I mean, honestly, I don't want to get a mesh burnt hit. And I don't know if you know or you've had one before. I just don't want to. So if you're going to try to go up higher and higher, just do it like by 1 or 2 watt increments. I wouldn't full-fledged go into it at 75 watts and try it out. So you want to go up little by little. Again, I did go to 68 watts. It's fine. My normal pull, I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 70. So here we are at 70. There's no problem with it. I just feel like between 65 to 68 is like my sweet spot. That's what I'm getting from this. Now, if you want to warm it up or you want a warmer vape, just cut down the airflow a little bit more and it will warm it up. So you don't need another, oh my God, the flavor is just amazing. You don't need another atomizer or anything. You just have to adjust the airflow and it's going to do that for you. If you want it cooler, you open it up a little bit more. You want it warmer, you're going to close it down a little bit more. But it gives you the same great flavor that I've come to enjoy with the Aromamizer Plus personally. So I know this was a requested video and I'm sorry it didn't happen sooner, but every time I was like, okay, as soon as I vape all of this, I'm going to go ahead and do my review. And then I would fill it up again because I wanted to vape it. And then I would say, okay, now this tank, once it's down, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So today it was finally down. I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. So now I'm bringing it to you. Again, this is the Plus Mesh Deck. And again, $14.99 on shop.steamcrave.com. And you can actually purchase their mesh strips if you want to. A 10 pack, I want to say this is 20 in there. I'm telling you, it's got to be 20. It's like 10 sets I think they're giving you, which is like 20 for $3.90. You can't beat it. Now, these are sale prices. The original price, no, yeah, I think the original price was like $5.90, but for $3.90, you really can't beat it. I think that Steamcrave has always had amazing prices for any of their devices or atomizers or anything like that. So I'm a Steamcrave lover. I have been for over 3 years when I purchased my first Aromamizer Plus. So that is it for this review / build / informational tutorial. If you like the video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments, do you have the Aromamizer Plus? And if you do, which deck is your favorite other than the mesh if you don't have it? And let me know how you like it. Also, which glass do you use? Do you use the 5 mil, the 10 mil, the 20 mil, or the 15 mil bubble glass? Let me know down in the comments because I use everything except for the 20 mil. I don't use the 5 mil either. I've been rocking the 10 mil for like 2.5 years. Then I got the 15 mil bubble glass and I've been rocking that with the 10 mil. So those are my 2 favorites. What are yours? So I'd love to hear your comments down below and I will see you in the next one. So see you down on the bottom. No. Okay, so let's take it down.